Guys, this is Miguel with In Plain Sight Security and Readiness. Today, making a video on self-defense, but in particular, like martial arts or hand-to-hand combat. I know most of us prepare, for SHTF situations and daily situations. A lot of us are EDC, everyday carry. But don't really hear too much focus on the whole hand-to-hand aspect of preparation. For me, I believe that's huge. I know, weapons are nice, okay? And you can make improvised weapons. Firearms are great. I own them. I have weapons. I've trained with all that stuff. But for me, what's even more as important is being able to defend myself with my hands. And the reason I say that is there are going to be situations where you may not be able to get to your weapon, or your weapon may be compromised, and you may need to, use your hands to get you out of that situation. For example, let's say you have your concealed carry on you, and all of a sudden a threat just comes out of nowhere. He's already on you. Now, I know for most people, their first instinct is going to be, since they have their concealed carry, to go at their concealed carry and pull that out before they do anything else. For me, that's an error, because that's pretty much allowing the guy who's on top of you to possibly get to your weapon and use it against you. And that's the last thing you want, is for someone else to use your gun against you or your weapon against you. Especially when you're in a fragile state, because you're already caught off guard. You're probably unbalanced, and he's at the advantage. So that's where, for me, the hand-to-hand skills comes into play. So, for example, in that situation, because from what my work experience is, I don't naturally go for the weapon first. A lot of times when I did the executive protection or close proximity protection with personnel, we're in the public, so you couldn't just take out your weapon and start unloading rounds downrange, or to wherever the threat is. A lot of times the threat was unarmed as well, but you had to maneuver, you had to use your hands to get out of a certain situation. Now, for me, it's natural to first go hands-on and move the threat away from me, or at least get a distance where I can perform whatever defense mechanism I need to perform. So, for example, if someone was to come from behind and get me from behind, push me to the ground, I would either roll out of the situation and push the person away, then go for my weapon. Or even as a front attack, I would naturally go into like a standing grappling position where I'm trying to use my hands to pry him off of me, push him away, and then get to my primary weapon, and then go that way. And you don't hear too many people speak of such things like that. I mean, you go on Instagram, you see all these guys, doing the whole funny mechanism with the gun and doing unload and reload and stuff like that. Yeah, that's all great when you don't got nobody on you and you're at the range. It looks cool, but in a real life situation, you're not going to be able to do that. Especially if the guy's on you. You're going to have to go hands-on and give yourself a buffer, give yourself some room so that you can operate. And that's like that with several different situations. And I'm not going to ramble in. That was just an example to stress the importance of hand-to-hand combat skills. Also, I know a lot of people think this means, going to an MMA gym and going to learn martial arts and whatnot and beating yourself up and other things like that. But martial arts training isn't just, going to a dojo and being slammed around and punching people in the face and all this other stuff. Martial arts, they also tell you about the human anatomy. You learn about, the weaknesses in the body, pressure points, where to strike a person. So, some of us have restrictions. Some of us are older, they cannot do that type of stuff. Some of us are handicapped, so we can't, there's certain things we can't do with our legs or our arms, and whatnot. So maybe you may not be able to practice certain moves or certain things, but when you get some kind of a form of training, at least you'll know where to attack a person should you not be able to go to your weapon first. At least, you may have like a countermeasure type attack where you're able to push them off and stuff like that. I know a lot of people, they frown upon Aikido. They don't think Aikido is a very good martial arts because, everything now is MMA. Everyone thinks, MMA is the thing, or jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. But one thing I like, that was my discipline I used the most. And I pretty much have the most skill at. I love it. And the reason I love it is because you're using your own enemy's energy against them. Your defense is your offense. So for me, being in the field that I was in, I would very easily push people off using their own momentum to get them off of me. And granted, I didn't knock a lot of people out with it, or, hurt a lot of people severely, which, you actually can. And trust me, you can dislocate bones, break bones very easily with the martial art. It did the trick for me in the field that I was in. Granted, I studied other martial arts. I did study, jiu-jitsu and karate, and in the military we learned our own martial arts, which is a combination of several different styles of martial arts. So, but for me, I think that is a key component to your preparations, because like I said, there are going to be times when you get caught off guard. And if you stay with the mentality that the only way you're going to be able to defend yourself is with a weapon in your hand, then that's going to be your downfall. Because the whole time, instead of actually trying to get out of the situation, you're going to be too busy thinking that the only thing that's going to save you is that weapon. And you got to get out of that. Being a prepper or survivalist, whatever you want to call it, is about being able to adapt and overcome, get yourself out of the situation. And if you put restrictions on yourself, then, you're doing yourself a disservice. You really are. So, again, thanks for watching the video. And, thanks for watching. Leave me some feedback on the video if you liked or not. If there's anything you want to hear about, go ahead and let me know in the comments, and I'll go more in detail on those subjects. But like always, guys, be humble, stay alert, and always be ready. Till next time.